Hey everybody, it's Carpo here. Good evening. I'm here for my evening smoke session. I just got done with some dinner and not that anyone cares, but had some lettuce out of the garden, and it's always nice to harvest your own food. And looking forward to harvesting some peas and carrots and all those other things that are great. Broccoli, cooking up your own carrots and broccoli. But I have a bowl here. My bubbler, it's a combination bowl of 3 types of wheat. There's Agent Orange, there is Cinex, which is one of my favorites, and some Girl Scout cookie, which kind of tastes like chocolate. My buddy brought it over today, and you know, it didn't look like much. And we were trying to figure out how much to sell it for, because his buddy, you know, he had a whole bunch of it, and a lot of the weed's going for about $1.80 for the really good weed around here, an ounce. And he was, you know, we were talking about how weed like that goes for about $1.25 to $1.40 an ounce around here right now. And I just smoked some, and it's actually really good. So I've gone back and forth over the years. I've been smoking pot since I was about 15. And so about 24 years now, and I'm ready to, you know, go admit that I just love marijuana. You know, there are times when I think, oh, I should quit or I should cut down. Really, I don't smoke that much, a gram or 2 a day, and I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, it really helps me with the way I live my life and my lifestyle, my personality. And I know it's not for everyone. But the criticism of pot is really unwarranted. And all the oils and tinctures and everything, and foods that are coming out. I mean, I know I live in an exceptional state, Washington, so it's legal. We have different rules here, different, you know, laws now, so people are able to smoke pot on their roof like I am legally, and kick back. So, but I know in some places it's harder. But for here anyway, it's almost like we finally won. You know, we finally got our I don't know. We finally got weed legal. You know, it's like in the face of the people who always said it would never happen. They were pretty harsh. There's some pretty harsh people. I went to a treatment thing one time where a guy was just saying, there's no way it'll ever be legal. And I said, you know, it might be. You know, give it a little bit. He's like, mark my words, never. Like, well, it is. Oh, I wanted to mention something to everybody here. If I can get a picture of this thing. Oops. It's a nice moon tonight, and for those who aren't aware, if you're a moon believer, I mean, if you're a moon skeptic and you think that it's all a conspiracy and the moon doesn't really exist, I don't know what to tell you, but anyway, for those moon believers out there, tomorrow is, I believe they call it the Perigee Moon, and it's a super moon, where the moon's the closest to the Earth that it is, because it happens to be on the elliptical orbit. It happens to be full and at its closest point at the same time. And it's funny because this year there's 3 of them. There's one tomorrow, which is July 11th, and there's one on August 10th, and then there's one on September 9th, I think. And so there's 3 of them in a row, and so each one of the next 3 full moons are going to be really beautiful. And I bring my telescope out maybe and check them out. This camera doesn't do too bad for picking up on it. I mean, smoking weed, looking at the moon, sitting on the roof, what else is there, right? Life's good. Hanging with the fam, watching movies. I guess I'll just say this in the same. I've made videos sorry, I've watched videos where a lot of people talk about how much they hate television, to turn off your TV and whatnot. And I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents on that because, I agree that television can be detrimental if a person lets it control their emotions, lets it run their life, especially if they watch nonsense TV. But the movies themselves are very symbolic, very archetypal, and we all know that now. But the point is, watching certain movies, like watching, say, Stanley Kubrick movies, like the Triage, the Clockwork Orange, and Doctor Strangelove, and the others that are The Shining, and they all have these various, symbolic meanings and whatnot behind it, and it's an art form determined to get the audience to see things through a light of symbolism and metaphors, because that's how people view things. So, in other words, we can do all the talking and writing and thinking that we want, but if television can be embraced to be a way to get people to see things differently, I think that it could be useful. And I've seen a lot of very artistic films that do just that really get people thinking. In other words, think about the future that we may want, and then we make a movie about it, such as the year is 2050. Robotics, have been embraced, and this is what it's like, and it gives us a chance to see what it might be like. And honestly, 30, 40 years ago, the view of today, it wasn't so, it was like we figured we'd be in hover cars and everything else. And the reality was, we didn't really embrace that. It's not that we couldn't do it, we just didn't embrace it. And I think that now we look at the future a little differently. Like all the movies tend to have a grim future, which isn't a good thing, but it makes people think, at least, that if we continue along our path now, we might destroy ourselves. So all I'm saying is that a lot of people do see television as a way of understanding the world, and since we are reflected through the movies that are made, that they affect all people a certain way, this common thread we all share. And so no matter how much we bash it to the ground, it's still a useful medium, just like the internet, which can be a harmful thing, and people can pick up all kinds of nonsense on the internet, but at the same time, it's our tool. It's what we use. I don't know anybody who's immune to using the internet who's out there watching this right now. So we all just got to admit that we're using technology, and we have to use it to the best of our ability. We can't bash it, and we definitely can't bash each other. We're just more divided. So anyway, check out the Perigee Moon, and have a good weekend.